Bank, Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Celebrity Home Loans, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, and Fox Curly Wealth Management.
Yay, thank you to our great sponsors. Very proud of our sponsors. We're on to the 19th day of September.
Woo!
I know, it's crazy to think that. I do want to give a report. Hats off to everybody. Thanks to everyone that came out, tried Castle. We did the beer on the bricks.
Yes.
And, you know, it's such a fun time. And we had a huge turnout. It was one of our biggest turnout. And hopefully we had a lot of great sponsors and hopefully raising a lot of money. And, of course, you know, I always explain that we do. I'm very proud. And it's not me. It's everybody, you know. But we completely spin down to zero in our bank account. And that's giving back to the community. And that's helping out with, and if someone has a specific need, you can talk to any of the sorority sisters. If there's somebody or something that we don't know about that has a need, we help out. And so it's really a blessing, and it's cool to be a part. I'm just a little bitty part of it, but it's cool to be a part of something that takes it and goes all the way down. Don't, you know what I mean? And I'm very proud of that. So anyway, and hats off, and of course it was a fun time, great time everybody had. And then Friday night we had football.
We had football.
That was Saturday. Saturday was beer on the bricks. Got ahead of myself. Friday night was football.
Football.
Yeah, so that was exciting.
Yeah, it was.
All three county teams.
I was very proud of Springs Valley and the tribute that they did to Trevor and Ball. It was very moving.
Definitely. And need to keep the family still in our thoughts and prayers. Definitely. Eastern, my goodness.
Woo! That was a game and a half.
Oh, that was just 1 point. 1 point.
I really was hoping they could pull
it
out.
Oh, they are on fire though. They're doing really good. I'm so proud of Eastern. They are really doing good. So proud of them. West Washington, of course. We knew Paley was hungry.
Absolutely.
I mean, they came over hungry. You talk about.
Oh yeah.
So that was another.
That was a tough one.
Yeah, very
tough loss.
So. But we were very proud of our three county teams, and full throttle they were. And anyway, so. More football coming up this week.
Absolutely.
We love high school football. What about you, Todd?
Yes. In fact, I was Saturday. I was out at Smedley Farm Supply and chit-chatting with the guys out there, and we were talking about even though we might have a little spat now and then amongst county schools, but when it's all said and done, at the end of the day, we all pull together. We're one community, and we've got a very good rivalry between the three schools in all sports, and we're all one big community here for the county, and we've got three very good schools in this county, and we're very blessed.
That is exactly right. Absolutely, very blessed for sure. And I agree. I think Eastern, because they're the newest program. And boy, they're rocking and socking. They keep going full throttle, and we wanted them to win so bad. And at one point, but they showed up. I mean, they've got definitely should hold their heads high because they
can tell the transformation on some of those boys.
Yeah.
It's been there, the 4 years because they've truly got a good 4 years in, and you can just see the transformation in those kids.
And I love growth like
Absolutely.
that. I love going. They're going so forward, and they're getting so strong.
They're so sure of themselves. And
yeah.
I mean, they know their positions. You can see the growth. That's awesome.
I love that too. They got a beautiful facility over there too. Yeah. So. All right, today is, let's see so that was Friday night. Saturday night was beer on the bricks. So we had a busy weekend, so everybody's kind of just trying to survive Monday.
Sunday was a recovery.
Well, we had a birthday party.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did. My little Bo turned 3 years old, and I tell you right now, he's so cute. He loves tractors, and we took a hayride. And he was just like, don't stop. And I was like, is this the best day ever? Anything with a tractor and that boy. Todd, I think he can give you a run for your money on, he knows his tractors.
Good.
3 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, farming will be strong in this community.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Good
I
deal.
want you to know that they're coming up strong.
We need farmers.
Yes, definitely. Well, Bo McNeely definitely knows his tractors, and and when he was on the tractor, any kind of a tractor ride, he just goes crazy, and he knows the different tractors. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
And he helps. I help him clean his tractors to make sure they're clean.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we keep our. He takes good care of his tractor.
Grease, oil, and
That's
adjust.
exactly.
Right?
You've not seen how good I can grease a tractor there, Todd. You don't even know my superpowers.
Oh,
Okay?
boy.
You don't even know. Don't think I
She might
can.
do it with heels on, Todd.
That's exactly right.
That's all right. Well, you check the oil.
Closer to God and closer to the tires. You know, some of those
Absolutely.
tires are big. You know, so-
Absolutely.
exactly. So, but anyway, so yeah, he turned 3, so we had a big birthday party, and he was very happy about that. All right, now today we are on to the 19th day of September. Today is International Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Where's your patch, Becky?
I know. Oh, I have one around here.
I
Don't think I
know,
don't.
I
I've got a
know,
pirate
I know.
hat and a patch around here. Don't think I don't. But you know, I always kind of go like, matey. I kind of go like from that Irish. I don't know if I'm like Ireland or if I'm a pirate. I don't know where I'm at. I'm universal.
That's pretty great.
Todd, can you give us a good pirate talk? Can you say?
Well,
Oh.
no, I'm a
Oh.
little bashful about it.
Laura, let's hear it.
No.
Matey. You know, yeah. You know, pirates are, it's one of the easiest costumes. All you have to do is grab a patch, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And then roll your pant leg up or something and go, right?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
I do have a quick pirate story. When I was a little
Oh.
kid out in the New Salem neighborhood, I
Dressed up like a pirate one Halloween. I think I was about 10. And my dad had acquired a bayonet off of a World War I vintage rifle. And I thought, well, that would make a neat pirate sword. And so Mom took us around the neighborhood. And I remember Mrs. Russell always made the best popcorn balls, homemade, you know, so we look forward to that. But long story short, at the end of the evening, now this was an antique bayonet. I lost it and never did find it, and my dad was pretty upset with me. So I didn't dress up like a pirate anymore because I didn't have a sword.
Oh, no! That's got to be somewhere in pirate code that you don't lose their sword, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah.
He wasn't a very good pirate then.
Okay, all right. Well,
He
it
just
wasn't
took your loot rather than you taking yours.
nothing to protect your loot with.
Right.
Your candy.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness. But you did trigger something when you start talking about the popcorn balls. Are those not the best?
Yes.
My grandmother used to make those, and that is something you just look forward to so much. And it's just nice on Halloween, isn't it? True?
Yep. Yeah.
I love the good popcorn.
Gosh, I haven't had one in years.
Well, they have them. You can actually get them packaged. If I get some, I'll bring some over to you, Todd. But you can buy them, actually. Walmart has them in a bag. But for some reason, my grandmother's, and I'm sure Miss Russell's, just that homemade, I don't know, just get your hands in there and roll them together. Just, you know, and yeah, those are the best. Yeah, they were so good. So that's fine. But the pirate story is very good, Todd. But if anybody sees it to this day, if it's laying out somewhere,
Yeah.
please return.
He would like to dress up as a pirate
Pirate again, okay?
Right.
Yeah. Well, one and done.
Right.
All right. Well, that's cool. So talk like a pirate day today. Okay. This is I don't know who's making these up. Todd, we always try to. I think we're going to try to be obnoxious enough. We're trying to get a WSLM day, and I have not been successful so far. But they have a meow like a pirate day. I don't know how that.
What?
I know. We're going to ignore that one. National Butterscotch Pudding Day. Todd, you like butterscotch pudding?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about you? Yeah, it's so rich. It's good, though. Yeah, I've not had it forever. You know,
Sounds good.
sounds real good. Yeah. It shows it in a Jack Daniel's cut glass with like looks like some kind of a topping on top. I wonder if that's I wonder if they add some Jack Daniels to it. Maybe so.
Well,
National Woman Road Warrior Day.
Woman Road
I don't know if we
Warrior
need any of those.
I think we have a lot of those trying to get the kids to school. Taxi cabs and mom taxis and road warriors, you know what I mean? Getting it.
Absolutely. Before they finish their coffee.
Yes, getting that
Now
done.
they're
Yeah.
pajamas.
Yeah. Oh, many of times deliver the girls in my pajamas. Yeah. I've got some stories with my mom trying to take us to school with that going on. Yeah, I'm going to tread lightly on that, but yes, that was some rough days though. better. Well, you know how like whenever vehicles like it was so cold, we used to walk to school. Listen to me, I'm sorry.
I walked up a hill.
We walked the hill. We
6
walked the. You know, I mean, when
miles
people were tough, you know, what I mean, we used to walk to school. But when it was really cold, every now and then she'd drive us, and sometimes the vehicle didn't seem like it wanted to go. You know what I mean? So yeah, so sometimes yeah. All right, this is Better Breakfast Day, or Better Breakfast Month. Todd, do you eat good breakfast?
Well, I try to. Yeah. Of course, you can't beat eggs, sausage and eggs or bacon, toast. But I don't eat that every morning, but try to eat a little something anyway.
Yeah. Laura?
I drink my breakfast.
Coffee to go.
Absolutely.
On the go, yeah. Me too. This is also College Savings Month, Fall Hat Month, love hats, Friendship Month, and so get out and enjoy for sure. I do want to say, speaking of that, Louder Than Life is next weekend, and I've got tickets. I need to get out of here and get to some lucky winners. So you can also purchase your tickets for that. But I will be giving. So check my Facebook page, and we will be giving that away. Okay, I do have the. I think I have the. Real quick, I do have the sports scores. Salem 16, Springs Valley 23, Eastern 32, Corydon 33, 1 point. West Washington did not score. Paley 41. West Washington will be playing Perry Central at 7:30 this Friday. Eastern will be at North Harrison at 7. Salem will be at Corydon at 7. IU, well, that was a great game.
Ooh,
that was a really good game. Yeah, we had a lot of people that we'd sent with tickets up there. 33-30. That was a great game, and boy, that kick. That was crazy. That was awesome. Purdue lost Syracuse. It was 29-32. Right. So, all right. So, but Purdue has got. They've been doing really good. So that's okay. Sometimes it happens. But all right. So more onward how we go. Todd, let's jump in and find out what we got going on. You are our county commissioner, and there's 3 of you. Rick. And, oh, wait, I do want to say that we, our hearts and our prayers go out to the Stewart family. Rick Stewart was a very dear friend, and I'm very, want to keep their thoughts and prayers to them.
Yep.
But I do want to, I'll let you introduce, you can talk about Philip Marshall.
Well, I was speaking with, I want to back up just a little bit. There was a very important day, I was told yesterday. I was talking to Commissioner Marshall. And this is a very important day. It's near and dear to my heart. He told me yesterday that it was National Cheeseburger Day. And you know what?
Yes,
and when I talked to him, it was about 7 in the evening, and I hadn't made it home yet, and I was getting kind of hungry. When he said that, I thought, boy, man, a big old juicy cheeseburger sure would taste good. So I asked him, I said, what are you having for supper? He said, cheeseburgers.
Go Janikins. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. Go, yeah. So,
Yeah.
So did you go by? Did you stop by? No. You should have dropped in on them.
They were probably already gone.
Yes, I put that up. Actually, we talked about it Friday, and then I put a reminder up on my Facebook and page. And see, because McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King, they were giving away burgers, so you could get a free burger. Yeah. And McDonald's was if you bought a dollar, you spent $1, so you could get a soft drink and a burger. Mm-hmm. And it's always, when it's free, Todd, it's really good.
Yeah.
So did you get a cheeseburger?
No, I didn't. I'll probably get one today.
Yeah. So what kind of, do you like a double cheeseburger or a cheeseburger?
I'd probably eat just about anything,
That's right.
Load it up.
I'm with you, 100%. Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, so we had some cheeseburgers this weekend. We can't stop when you start thinking about them. It's like, you can't stop thinking about it, right?
That's right.
It's true. Yeah. So, we celebrated, and I'm happy that our restaurants right here locally celebrated too. And I know there was a lot of people that took advantage of that, which was good. Good. All right, so yes, Philip Marshall's right on it for sure.
Yeah, he's on top of it.
I love that so much, so I hope he's listening.
Now, of course, this little promotional deal for Commissioner Roberts now.
Yeah.
Up here at the Cheddar Depot, the Roberts Farms, they supply. They're their beef
I did not
to
know
the
that.
cheddar depot.
Oh, I
and
love that.
it's good stuff.
Oh, I've had it before.
Oh, yeah.
It's delicious. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like their
Yeah.
little sliders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, even though it was yesterday, you could still go up and get a Robert's Farms cheeseburger at Cheddar Depot today.
I could see that. I think that sounds very good. Very good. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. And I love when we do local. You know what I mean? Locally grown
Yep.
and locally grass fed. And we know that I've not had one there, but I've had his meat before there, and you know, other places, and yeah, it's very good. Big difference.
Absolutely.
For sure. So, and you make up the three. You guys are the three commissioners in our Washington County. We're so glad to have you with us, Todd. Thank you for coming in.
Well, thank you.
And we always love your visits and finding out what's going on in our county. First of all, I want to say thank you for having the county roads and the mowing. We noticed the mowing going on, and that really helps out a lot with the roads.
It's a never-ending battle. Those weeds grow pretty fast.
Seems like this year they just really, everybody.
Well, we've had a little bit more rain than normal during the summer here, so that really makes them grow. Kind of throws us behind a little bit, but county highway department, they do a good job. Really, really good job. We just about to finish up paving. I think we're going to have just a tad over 40 miles of road that we paved this year, which is not a record, but it's pretty close. I think last year it was around 43, but yeah, that's a never-ending battle too. There's always roads breaking up, and you know, we've got a lot of, not just the car traffic, but you know, there's a lot of semis, loggers, farmers. We're hard on the roads, and we got to keep them up. And I think we're blessed with a very, very good highway department. And I'll put a 2 cents out there for Rick Boyles. He does a very good job, and want to thank him. And he stays on top of things, and I'm sure he's looking forward to winter.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But he doesn't, I mean, he goes, well, there's a lot to do in winter.
You know, the persimmons are saying shovels. Everyone I've cut open.
Yeah, what's that mean?
Snow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lots
okay.
of snow.
Okay.
But I do want to say prior to that, okay, so I'm going to add in from the almanac, it looks like we're going to have a warm fall. So, like, we'll probably
Okay.
just go, it'll probably be just like turning on a light. We'll probably go from one to the other.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think there'll be much of a,
Lead up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Although this coming weekend, I think is it
Supposed
Friday or
to.
Saturday, be really chilly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's be nippy out there, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is not bad. But going, the roads take me home, country roads. I love it, and I'm very proud of our roads. I mean, when you drive the county, and it's always a good reminder, Todd. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. How many miles of road do we have here?
Well, let's see. I believe there's like 900, over 900
A
miles.
lot of road. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's always a good reminder. We sometimes don't realize how big our county is.
Yeah.
And all the roads that
Yeah.
are involved in this. So I think the roads are doing good. I think it's nice, and I think we all like whenever there's attention, especially when you travel one road quite a bit. It's always nice to when the road's been well taken care of. So I think you
Yeah.
guys do a great job on that.
Yeah.
But I did notice the mowing, and I'm hats off to that. That's always nice. It looks good too, especially for others coming in our community. You know. And right now with all the construction, and it's I was talking to someone from Columbus. You go just about to any community, the state has really released a lot of money to help out communities and do great things for them. And there are other, and we are very blessed. I know I'm trying to show the positive because we are very blessed for this construction, and they could have done other places, and they did let us have some money to fix up some things that needed to be done, our bridges here in the city. And also some of the pipelines that that were really old, some of the different lines, and that's what's taken. That takes a little while. You got to go through maybe rock or and get down deep. So, but with that saying, there's also some of the different GPSs have rerouted them around the county, so they're getting to see some of the Washington County, right? I mean, some of the roads that they don't normally travel, are being traveled now.
Yeah.
Are you finding that to be true?
Well, yeah, we've run into a little problem. We do on occasion. Sometimes the GPS routes these, trucks, 53-foot trailers, down roads they shouldn't be going. It's no fault of the drivers. They're just following their GPS, and it causes some problems. Them trying to make corners on country roads. So, unfortunately, they're forced sometimes to take a more scenic route than they thought they wanted to take.
You're seeing beautiful Washington County.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I think, and I'm with you, Todd. I think we need to give a shout out to those truck drivers because I don't know how sometimes they do what they do. I mean, yeah, and but I think too that again, if there is something just like one of the drivers accidentally got it, or several have happened, got the stop signs. When they're making that turn, you're talking about a large rig trying to turn.
Yeah.
So if there is something like that, please report it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Sometimes if it's on your road or something, always let a commissioner or let somebody know in the county or city, whichever the case may be,
Right.
so that it can be taken care of. Because I know they have been right on it. I mean, they have been, when there has been something like that, they've been very good about getting it back up and taking good care of it.
Yep.
And I feel very good about our people. It's just sometimes if you just have to let them know. If you see something,
That's right.
say something, about it.
That's right.
So I think that's good. So our roads are doing good, and we're still doing a few more pavement. And if somebody does have something like that, it's always nice, and I'm sure, Todd, you would much rather hear them talk and come to you and say, we have a problem, we'd like to have this done, or can you help us out, or what
Right.
what can
Yep.
we do about this? It's always nice to hear that.
Yeah. It's sometimes they're, safety issues, and we certainly don't want anyone getting hurt. So if you see something, feel free to call, and we'll get it taken care of.
Okay, awesome. All right, now we're going to switch gears, and it's been a little while, but I don't think we've had you on since the baby box, or have we? I don't think we have talked about them.
No, don't think
And
so.
that was a huge, actually a huge blessing for our community, but also
Yeah.
that was it was a big ordeal.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't attend that ceremony, but we might save that for maybe another date. Maybe we could get the ambulance director in on one of your Monday morning programs, Chelsea Putman, and she could talk a little bit about that, and be happy to do that, and maybe next month or something. And
I would love that.
it's as far as I know, it's functional, and it'll be an asset to the community. We hope it's never needed, but it's one of those things that if it is, maybe it'll save a life. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I feel so bad, and I don't have it before me, but I have the lady's information that actually designed it, and all of the thought that went into this, and just making sure that it works, the way it is, and the way it was designed is so thought out. It's so engineered, so awesome. You know what I mean? And they're very expensive, but they're done right, and it's so awesome for us to have this.
Mhm.
And I will get her to call in too, Todd,
Yeah.
and then she can explain it, because if you go back on my Facebook or my website, you can see we did a video and she explained it all. But I'm going to have her on sometime and talk about it too, because I think it's so fascinating. I always like to know behind the scenes. And
I was confused when they put it out there at the ambulance, but now that I've thought about it, I'm like, oh, it does make more sense. It's kind of more private, more, So I get it. I think it's awesome that we have one. I'm very
Right.
fortunate.
right, and I think that it's for the person that's making that decision. They don't want a lot probably to.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think it's really nice, and that was a nice dedication for sure. And anyway, so that's a blessing that we have that. And again, another great thing for our county and for our, we're here in the city of Salem too. So very good.
Yeah.
So and there were several people there, and it was really cool the way it was explained. So that's good. Yeah. So let's see, onward ho. What else we got going on, Todd?
Well, gosh, so many things. They've think the council's wrapped the budget up, and of course that seems to be going up every year. But people don't realize, or some people don't realize, when the price of fuel goes up, everything goes up. And then to compound the problem, when you have more jobs out there, people needing to hire employees than you do workers, that drives the prices of everything up. So in order to fill your quota for workers, naturally you have to pay them more. So it's like burning the candle at both ends. We're in some, I don't want to be pessimistic, but these are kind of tough times until things get straightened out and people come to realize, hey, we need to get some people working here, and I get very frustrated at the cost of some things, and of course you all deal with it, food prices and everything else. It's kind of discouraging, but hopefully it'll get straightened out here in the next couple of years, and we'll get back on track. But got to get people working. That's the thing.
And that's easier said than done.
Yes, it is.
It's true, yeah.
It's very difficult, and
Yeah.
it's everywhere,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Well, and I've heard people that, that possibly would like to open up a business or something, but then they're like, well, we don't want to do that if we can't get the employees,
Right.
and that's something that, that is definitely something that we never, I guess you never thought about that years ago, you know what I mean? It seemed like, so I guess everybody's experiencing it, feeling it, so why wouldn't the county, right? Why wouldn't you
Right.
guys experience it,
Everybody feels it. Yeah.
And inflation are they doing anything to help in that? Like as a state, not the employees, but I mean like as far as like the cost of like the fuel and everything that's gone up.
No, not really. No. It's just going to have to work itself out.
Right. And as far as like budgeting, when you budgeted for this, like when this budget was set, it was before all that.
That's right.
So that's kind of you kind of have to work between the lines there,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. That's right.
A little more degree of difficulty.
That's right. Yeah. But we'll get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're in good shape. We're on sound footing. The county is financially, and we want to stay that way. We have to be sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, and then of course before too long, it's good to know that because before too long, like we just talked about, we're going to go into the weather, and that's costly.
Yep.
What about do we have plenty of stuff ready to go when we
Yes, last update we had, of course, the highway department is on a, I suppose it's called a quota system. We order our salt through the state of Indiana. They kind of monitor things, and then they divvy it out as it's needed. What a lot of people don't understand, not just in regards to this, but as one former councilman told me one time, he said, you know what? He said, when it comes right down to it, counties have about, and he held his hands up and made a little sign with his thumb and his forefinger. He said, we've got about this much wiggle room as far as what we can and can't do, and a lot of people don't understand that. Everything is pretty much decided and mandated by the state, and we just don't have a lot of wiggle room, and we're controlled more by the federal government and the state than what people realize, which is not always a good thing, but anyway. Been that way for a long time. I don't suppose it'll change. So,
right. I think that is a good reminder on some of the decisions, some of the things that are done, and just like the financial to what we receive, and you gotta be very creative.
Yes,
with your money. You can be conservative with your money, and you have to spend it wisely, on that, and sometimes and to make it fair to all concerned for everybody.
Right.
And I think sometimes that's difficult, and I think anybody that's been in leadership or on a board or served, been a public servant there, knows that.
Yep. Yep.
Knows that 100%. So I think that's good reminders of that. Just But anyway, so it's good to hear that, and of course, everybody always worries because coming up, whenever we do start hitting the bad weather, I know we got some months. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but we just want to make sure that everybody's taken care of on that.
We'll be ready.
We'll be ready, okay?
That's right.
Those trucks will be rolling out, right?
That's right. That's right.
And hopefully the gas prices will be going down, right?
Yeah.
Shoot,
Yeah. Yeah, let's hope, you know what I mean? Yeah, one big leap maybe. So, good to hear that. All right, also, since we talked, Todd, I was at a meeting, I think it was a week or two ago, I can't even remember, time goes by so fast, and it was about Hardinsburg. It was commissioners you guys were talking about Hardinsburg,
Yes.
and can you kind of explain a little bit about what's going on with.
Well, it's kind of complicated, but do the best I can here. The town of Hardinsburg, I suppose unbeknownst to them, the council people and the board of the town, I suppose were not aware that they really have been operating illegally. They just assumed things were okay, and things have been done the same way for, many hundreds of years, basically. And they hadn't held an election, which is required by law for them to be a legitimate town. And we want to try to get that straightened out. So we're basically wiping the slate clean with the help of Jay Davidson, our state representative. And it's not going to be easy. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to be very difficult. It's going to take a lot of work, but we disbanded the town so we could start over, get a new charter, hold elections, so Hardinsburg is truly a legitimate town. And when I say legitimate town, I'm not talking about in the eyes of Washington County. Once again, it goes back to the state. There were only two state agencies, that's the Department of Local Government Finance and the State Board of Accounts, who have recognized Hardinsburg as a town. The other departments within the state say that they are not a town because they have not held elections. So once again, sometimes the right hand didn't know what the left hand was doing, and sometimes, as is often the case, things are just assumed. So we're going to make it right, and we want to naturally do things legally in the eyes of the state of Indiana. So once again, we dissolve the town. Hopefully, they will get a petition around, and they will come up with some candidates for elective offices. Hold an election, hopefully, come spring of 2023. And then there was another issue with Hardinsburg has been there for so long. Over the course of time, they were having difficulty finding the original charter. Well, Washington County was a county before Indiana became a state. Now there's some speculation as to, they think maybe the charter may be in Harrison County, because when Hardinsburg was established, the state capital was in Corydon. So, there are lots of rumors flying around. We don't know that, but that they will probably have to apply for a new charter. And once again, we're going to wipe the slate clean. The three commissioners the three of us are all on board and in agreement that naturally we want Hardinsburg to remain a town as it always has been, and this is basically the only way to do it. So that's the plan.
Well, it gets really confusing, you know, and it's a lot to try to, you know, because you kind of like, it's sad because it's like, you know, this should have been done, if this would have been done years ago, right?
Yeah, well, it's easy to say, well, shoulda, coulda.
Could have, right, you're totally right. No,
but,
and it's always in hindsight, right?
We need to move forward. We need to put everything behind us and get it fixed. That's the key. Get it fixed right, and move forward. It's going to take a lot of work, and I certainly commend the ladies at the auditor's office. We have such a good auditor, Kyra Stevenson, and Michelle Fleener. She's a secretary for the county council, and they're just tremendous, and the amount of work they do. They've got a lot of work ahead of them, and they do such a good job, and the council and the commissioners just could not function well without their support. They're very, very important to this county, and in fact, everything that goes on in the county at some point, everything goes through the auditor's office. It's a very, very important office, and we've got some very good people in there.
Definitely, I agree with that. Absolutely, I think that so we're talking as soon as 23, possibly they could get.
That's the goal.
That's really awesome.
If the state will let us, there's there's timelines. There's certain periods of time you have to wait several days before you can do this, and this, and we're trying to move forward and get things going back to normal.
Well, and I think at first, like, there was a lot of like confusion, in which, you know, I don't like that, because that, when I like people to have that clarity of it all. And when they went to the meeting, I felt like a lot of the community from Hardinsburg felt a lot better and more clear of what was going on. Maybe, you know what I mean? Yeah. And do you feel like addressing them and having them come and we could talk with them?
Yeah.
That was a good bridge there.
Yeah.
Because of when you hear it at first, it sounds so.
I watched it on your live feed because I was raised in Fredericksburg.
Right.
I worked in Hardinsburg at Satterfield's
from
the time I was 14 till I was 21.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, like that was home.
Yeah.
So I think I'm still confused on how it happened, but I mean, it is what it is. I just hope they can get everything together and get back to Hardinsburg.
Right. Well, and it is such a big part of our community, our county, and very important, and some great people. So, you know, and I think everybody cares and everybody feels for them. But I think it's, when it was explained, I was happy to hear them, you know, from their community, their locals, being very happy about, or understanding that this is going to be now done right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of times I think things like that have happened where it just kind of, you know, you didn't realize. Maybe it just didn't get caught, you know, and that happens, you know. But it you know, realized that, hey, and there'll probably be a lot of benefits. Won't there be some good positives out of this?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think it will maybe kind of reinvigorate the town and bring them together where they can all work together. And I was certainly happy that we had that meeting and had all the residents there, because, you know, no matter what the subject matter is or the situation, there's always lots and lots and lots of misinformation and downright untruthful comments. He said, she said, and it's best to clear the air and get it straightened out. And I think we did that. And I think one thing that I came away with, I think the people of Hardinsburg now understand that, hey, you know, the county is not, we're not here to do anything that you don't want done. You know, we're all Washington Countyans here. We all work together. You may live on this side of the county, 35 minutes away, but we all live in Washington County. We're all one community here, and certainly no one was there to do anything that the residents of Hardinsburg didn't want to do, and I think all of them want Hardinsburg to remain a town, and we do too. So that's the goal. That's what we're going to work toward.
Right, and I think, when you go somewhere, and like you said, I love, I like facts. Is it fact or is it crap? And I think doing that kind of stuff is clearing it up and showing and letting people, it's important to hear, what everybody's feeling, because everybody's very passionate about that, and I love that passion. I love people that live in a community that have passion about their community, because that means they care, that means they're thriving, that means they're working, and they're, wanting to go forward. So I love that, and I love seeing everybody that came out to share in that. And you can't help, emotions get a little bit, going different directions when you're not when there's not clarity.
Right.
And when you get clarity and you get that this is going to be moving forward, this is going to be okay, which we need, that's something that everybody gets worried about, and that it's going to be possibly a benefit if the state recognizes you more. Maybe you'll have some benefits in, let's say, maybe some help in finances or something, possibly. I'm stepping
Right.
on a limb on that, but
Yeah.
but that might be a great thing.
Yeah.
And it would come to this one day. There's going to be a day that this would have happened,
Right.
even
Yeah.
if it's 10 years, 20 years
That's
down
right.
the road.
That's right.
This would have happened one day.
Yeah.
And so today it did, or it's coming, and
Yeah.
therefore, well, I thought it was received well, and I thought whenever the locals did talk, I was happy to hear them that they understood and they felt better about that. Didn't you feel like that from
Yeah.
the meeting?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
It was a come together meeting.
Yeah.
And I think at first, once, and of course Philip Marshall was very adamant about how making sure that everyday life's going to go on.
Right.
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 And I think you
Yeah.
and Rick, of course, too. I think it was good for you guys to meet with everybody.
Yes. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we'll just stay tuned. I didn't realize it could be so quick, and I think they'll be very tickled about that, getting it. You know what I mean? And getting it back, getting it taken care of, and business as usual, right?
Yep. That's the goal.
That's the goal. Love that. There's also some work going on around the different county. Of course, we see to the east of us too. Out there, Little York's getting some work done, right?
Yeah.
And they're getting quite a bit done.
Mhm.
What's all's going on with Little York?
Well, I've not been up on that. Of course, that's not my district, even though I should know this. But I know there's, once again, these small towns are. I wouldn't say they're dying, but they just weren't what they were at some point in time. Population dwindles a little bit, which one thing I want everybody to realize, if you stop and think about it, and I know the state of Indiana knows this, but there are, of course, there's 92 counties, as you know, in the state of Indiana, and I'm sure there are literally hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of small towns throughout the state of Indiana that have been struggling with, and they do struggle because the numbers are down. But I want to point something out about Hardinsburg in particular. They have had, now not within the town itself, but just a mile and a half out of town, they have had more growth in that area as far as businesses than anywhere in Washington County. They've got that huge hardware store over there that opened up. They've got that dollar store that opened up there at the junction of 150 and 66. For a small community within the proximity, say a 2.5 mile radius of Hardinsburg, there has been a lot of growth out there just in the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they have they have really grown, and that's a good thing. And so I think there'll be a bright day coming for that area, and hopefully we get this straightened out, and we'll be on track, and life will go on.
Well, it's a beautiful area, and it has that interstate. And I know there's a lot of people that want some land and want some, nice little area to live in, but also maybe they work in the city, you know what I mean? And so it's a nice area there. And
Yeah,
I think they kind of knew that things like that were going to happen, where people might want to work in the city but live a little more rural, live a little more country.
Yeah, I think you're seeing more of that. Yeah.
I think so too. So no wonder, and I think it's a very valuable part. Great people and great ideas, and onward ho. I love thriving like that.
Yeah.
And they are. So that's good. And of course, over here in the Little York area, they're getting some work done, some repairs. It's a little growing pains and but they're doing great too. They're doing great things, and it's just cool to see. And then of course, to the north and the south of our county, great things are happening, and it's exciting to see, don't you feel?
Yeah, it is.
How many years have you been commissioner?
Ending my 4th year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But from the beginning, when you took the job and said yes, till today, have you learned a lot, or what do you think's been a lot?
Oh Lord. Yeah. I've learned a lot. Learned a lot about myself. Learned a lot about. Naturally, you learn about your faults. You always make a mistake or two, but as long as we learn from them and go on, and it's I enjoy it. I enjoy helping people, and some days are better than others. Some days things just don't go the way you'd like for them, but that's life. The main thing is when somebody calls and needs something, try to get it taken care of as quickly as possible, because that's the job, really. Basically helping people and help them achieve what they want to achieve, and I'm not always successful in doing that, but as long as I feel like I try, and I can lay my head on my pillow at night and sleep with a clear conscience, that's all that matters, really.
Right. Well, I think that anybody, when you step into a position, it's a lot. And of course, I think number one is to realize how big this county is.
Yeah.
And all of that goes into it, right?
Yeah.
And kind of explaining, maybe for those listeners that don't understand, there's 3 of you, so you kind of break it down like in certain areas.
Yeah.
Explain a little bit more on maybe for those.
Well, of course, the 3 commissioners' districts are divided up by townships.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all, even though we're all responsible for everything that goes on within the county as a whole, we do all have our own districts. So that we try, we try to keep track, take care of the people within those districts. But I have really never. I have really never necessarily agreed with the way that's done. I used to get kind of aggravated in years past when you'd have a commissioner make this statement at a meeting and say something to the effect of, well, everything's good in my district. Well, the county commissioners are elected by all the people of the county. It doesn't matter what district you're in. Yes, you serve a district. In my case, right down the middle of the county, Monroe Township to the north, and then Washington Township, which naturally includes the city of Salem, and then I've got Pierce Township, and then also Jefferson Township. So that's what I'm responsible for, but I don't really see it that way, because maybe we're kind of unique. I know in the past some commissioners, not all of them got along, but I do get along very, very well with the other 2 commissioners. We don't always agree on everything, but for the most part, we remain civil, That's probably an area that I could probably work on a little bit if you'll ask Phil. But for the most part, we get along good, and we work together. And I don't really see myself as the commissioner so much as of this district, even though I am, because we represent the whole county, and we all work together. And gosh, I get phone calls all the time from people that don't know the district lines, and someone in Phil's district. Of course, I'm from Franklin Township, which is his district, and my mother still lives out there, so I'll get somebody.
Shout out to her and love her.
Yeah. I think I'll keep her.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. So anyway, I get calls from people in his district, which we take care of it. And he does the same thing for me, and Rick too. He got a call a few weeks ago about the guy that he thought was in Rick's district, but he wasn't. He was in mine. So we take care of things and get it done and help one another. And I'm very blessed to have two fellow commissioners that. Pretty darn level-headed, I'll have to say that. So.
Yeah, that's good. And explaining on having the districts, the reason that's nice is if one of the areas are having a meeting or something going on, because you could go to, you can't get to every meeting. You can't get to all of this, and kind of having that where someone's in kind of over this, then they come back and report. Like Rick comes back and reports to you,
yes.
And Philip. And
yes.
Philip comes back and reports to you, and you come back and report to Philip and Todd, or Philip.
Yeah.
Philip, you report to yourself
Yeah.
in a minute.
Becky's just
Todd and Rick,
yeah.
I feel like I'm on a game show here.
Y'all report to each other.
That's right.
Well, one of the things.
Let's do a huddle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one of the things that I didn't realize before I took this job was how many boards that you are required to sit on.
Yeah.
And in fact, there's kind of a little funny, not really a story, but I happened to run into former Commissioner Philip Lofton here a few months ago, and he just looked at me and he kind of grinned, because he knows what commissioners go through, having been a former commissioner. He says, "How you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm doing all right." He said, "You got the county in order?" "Well, yeah, we're trying every day." I said, I didn't realize that this job would take so much time, which it's kind of like everything else that you get into. Doesn't matter what job it is. The old story, the grass is always greener on the other side, and you never know what a person has to go through in their job until you actually do the job. Oh, you can look back from afar and say, I could do that, or that'd be an easy job, and how much money does he make, and he makes that much to do that? Well, I could do that. Well, try it.
Yeah.
So he asked me, he said, Philip Lofton, he said, how many boards are you on? I said, oh, Lord. I said, I don't even count them. But we do have to sit on all these boards, which that's just part of the job, and that takes a lot of time. Mm-hmm. And of course, we try to spread that out equally among the three of us. And there are literally over a dozen boards that three of us are required to sit on, and most of them meet monthly, and that's just part of the job that I hadn't thought much about, but it does take a lot of time. But I'm not complaining, simply explaining.
There you go.
Right?
Exactly. That's mine. Absolutely.
Yeah. I use that a lot, by the way.
You go right ahead. I've come up with it for years, and that's exactly right. And there's and that's exactly what you're doing. And I think sometimes people don't realize that, and I think it's always good to bring it to the forefront and let everyone know and kind of know, what all our commissioners, a day in a commissioner's life, right?
Yeah.
We should do a documentary on it.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'll just say that.
I would love to job shadow.
Yeah. There you go.
Just to see.
Welcome to.
Todd says, "Jump in, let's do it." That's right, Laura.
In fact,
there you go.
If anybody's interested in, we don't have overabundance of people knocking at the door, a lot of times to fill these board positions, it's been honestly a very difficult thing to try to get people to serve on boards because none of them pay anything. So, you're just doing it out of your desire to serve the community, which is what we need. And, we need good people to sit on boards, and sometimes it's a struggle to get people to step up. And the bad thing is, they may serve a year or two, but that's just about long enough to learn what's going on, and then they may be gone, and then you have to start over and break somebody else in. And
once they figure out what's going on, then they
yeah, they're done.
Yeah, we're done. Okay, we're done.
Oh yeah, they get wise. Yeah.
You always said you just talked about those greener pastures.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to greener pastures.
Yeah.
So, well, Todd Ewing, thanks for coming in. We're running close on time on Coffee Club. Thanks for coming in, getting us.
Thank you.
We got more to do. We'll have you back on next month, or Rick, or Philip. And appreciate you coming in, and I appreciate you, coming in and being a part and answering all the questions and everything, and helping us get some understanding. I think an informed community is a happy community, and we want that for sure. And we've got a beautiful county, we've got beautiful people, good churches, good schools, and one of the finest museums in the Midwest. That's her commercial. For years, my dad has said that.
That's right, we do.
We do. So, Laura, let's take our
Awesome.
sponsors.
All right, we want to thank Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Celebrity Home Loans, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, and Fox Purley Wealth Management.
Thank you. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Laura.
Thank
Happy
you.
Monday.
Remember when you had your birthday party at McDonald's, playing with your family and friends, enjoying cake and that one-of-a-kind McDonald's food and drink? If you're looking for a fun and safe place to have a party for your children or grandchildren, look no further. Party time is back at McDonald's right here in Salem, Mitchell, and West Baden. That's right, hosted birthday parties are back, baby! Call event coordinator Renee Lewis at 812-788-0126 to schedule your birthday for Salem, Mitchell, or West Baden today. The party includes food and drink for up to 10 guests, with your choice of white or chocolate cake, ice cream for each child, a gift for the birthday boy or girl, goodie bags for each child, and a festive decorated party area. Parties at Salem allow children to play, while the McDonald's in Mitchell and West Baden will feature age-appropriate games. Let McDonald's make your child's next birthday party stress-free for you and fun for them. Call Renee at 812-788-0126 today and get your next party